Sändningen presenteras av jad.se. Kampsportskläder och utrustning på nätet och i butik.
What question do you want me to ask first? Was that actually a question, whether I was critical about the Frank and... Yeah, well, here's the Frank Mirs talked a lot of smack in that fight, and you know, I expected more from the fight. It was a main event. I was very unhappy with that fight, and I agree. There were two guys in the fight. Got to try to remember exactly. That was so many fights ago for me, but yeah, I was disappointed. I was disappointed in Mirs' performance. I was disappointed in the fight overall as a main event, and then Anderson Silva. His last 5 fights were garbage. Yeah, they weren't great. The last fight was awesome. Chael Sonnen fight was incredible. Yeah, and he lost. Joe and I were just talking about that fight in the car. That fight was incredible. I think that's one of those fights that, you know, the thing is about Anderson Silva, the guy hasn't lost since 2006. And he's actually moved up in weight class and beat guys at 205 too. So I mean, when people try to argue with me that this guy isn't the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, it's crazy. Even a fight where he's getting beat for 4.75 rounds and then pulls out the armbar and wins the fight. Just, I mean, that's the stuff that makes you a legend. You know, this guy's won by knockout. He's won by submission. He's won every way you could possibly win. And when you fight in the UFC, you fight the absolute best in the world 3 times a year. So, and the other thing that people don't give this guy credit for, he's 36 years old. I think some people think this guy's 26 or something. He's 36 years old and he's still dominant. And yes, every fight he's had hasn't been, you know, a highlight reel knockout or whatever, but the guy continues to win and beat the best in the world.
I think the issue with him is he's fighting guys that weren't a challenge, you know, and he wasn't willing to take chances to try to put them away, and that's what a lot of people were pissed off about. It wasn't exciting enough, but the reality was Talis Leites wasn't really capable of doing anything to him, you know, and I think in fights like that, that's when he has problems. In a fight like, you know, the fight with Chael Sonnen, he had to fight. That's why it was a great fight.
And that's a good point. And we try to put him in with guys that are going to test him, but he's so good.
He's so good. I mean, you watch that first round against Damian Maia. I mean, who moves like that? I mean, the guy's got incredible speed and technique. He's got to be tested. That's the problem.
No, I'd love to see him go to 205. Let me tell you what, you want to get challenged? You will get challenged at 205 pounds. From number 1 down to number 12. Yeah. I mean, that division is so stacked with so much talent, and I don't disagree with you. I would love to see him. It would have been great to see him go to 205 3 years ago, you know? I
would love to see him versus Shogun. I think him and Shogun would be just insane.
Yeah, him and anybody in that division. Him and Bones Jones. Him and, I mean, there's so many guys at 205 that would be fun.
I want to see Bones Jones and Velasquez. I don't know. He's a growing boy, that Bones Jones.
Sändningen presenteras av jad.se. Kampsportskläder och utrustning på nätet och i butik.